What's up, party people? Alex Gallner here, gonna be your host for this evening. Can everyone hear and see me okay? I guess you won't need to see me for most of this, but always good to do a quick sound check. All right, looks like we got some newbies in the house tonight. Katrina, welcome. Very excited to have you here. All right. Dawn's in the house. Marissa. Jackie. Awesome. All right, we're going to give everybody a couple minutes just to get in here, and we'll get everything set up in the background in just a second. Sorry to overexpose you there, Katrina. I forgot I put your note up there. All right. Okie dokie. All right. We've got we'll give it until 5 after for everybody to get in here, and hopefully we'll get going. Oh, you know what? Actually, I have a question to ask the folks who are here now. Would you let me know in the chat if you are viewing this on a mobile device or a desktop? Because we were considering doing vertical video, but we've been doing horizontal with the assumption that everybody was on their desktop. But if you guys are doing this on mobile, we can make it a vertical video. So let me know how you're accessing this, if you're doing it through the app, the Facebook group, on your laptop, desktop, mobile. Okay, there we go. Laptop, mobile. Okay, more mobile than I thought. You know, mobile first is what they say is in terms of design these days. Most people are moving to mobile. Mobile. Awesome. Okay, so would you think you guys would benefit if this was more of a vertical video that we did here? Get a little more screen real estate? Lots of mobile. Okay, that's great. That's good to know. All right. That might open the door for us to start streaming on TikTok and Instagram as well. Hopefully get some more people into the party. Mostly consisting of Facebook users at the moment. And I know not everybody loves Facebook, so I want to make sure we extend our reach. You know, if you're not, if you don't want to view this on Facebook, you can always go through the app, and you can also go onto our YouTube channel. If you subscribe to that and set notification, it'll always remind you whenever we go live here. So we're always simulcasting on Facebook and on YouTube. FYI. All right, I'm going to hide this QR code here. Everybody ready to get started? Give me a thumbs up. What's up in the chat? Who's excited? We're going to face some fears today. Oops. Okay. All right, so if you're wondering what this is on the screen and you're new to Journal Party is not only a community, but it's also a guided journaling app that we have developed. And so you can get it on your mobile device. It's available in the Apple App Store and Google Play. Or you can always just go to our website and open it up there and access it within your browser. And basically every week we're cranking out new programs. And on Journal Party Live, we like to get together and debut and go through them as a community. And so today we are going through the newest program, 10 prompts to face your fears. So, you know, I think fear is a pretty universally shared experience. And I think most of us know that it can be overcome. in spite of ourselves. And so that's really what the goal is here today. With that, I want to remind everybody to be nice to yourself. These things aren't always the easiest things to overcome and to face and embrace. And so I think pat on the back is deserved just for even showing up here and attempting this work. That said, we're going to try to keep it pretty lighthearted. We're going to do 3 minutes per prompt. We've got 10 prompts in here. And if you feel like you got more in the tank and you need to revisit any of these prompts, this program will live inside of the app, and you can also replay this live stream inside of the app or on our YouTube channel under the Journal Party Live section. But it's pretty simple. We're gonna pull up a fear. We're gonna pick it apart, take a look at it, and see how we come out on the other side. So I'm gonna hit the start now button. It's gonna count us down. I'll read you guys the prompt and then disappear. And of course, I'm here in the chat, and let me know if there's anything you're seeing on the screen or not seeing on the screen, or if there's any issues or anything like that, or if you've got to share. This is totally casual. There's no right way to do this. The key is to just start writing once you get the prompt. And if you don't have something to answer that prompt with right away, I find a good trick is to just kind of start writing the question. Just the act of actually putting your pen to the page will often activate your mind. But you know what? If the insights aren't there, just earmark it, maybe revisit it later. And don't be surprised if you're having lunch tomorrow and you just randomly get that golden nugget of wisdom. That tends to be how it works for me, at least. So I'm going to hit the start now button. We're going to count it down, open up that journal, and get ready for prompt number 1. Fear identification. Identify a fear and describe how it manifests in your life. Alrighty, folks, your next prompt is origin observation. Reflect on the possible origins of this fear. Next prompt is under the influence. How has this fear influenced your behavior or decisions? Next prompt is understanding. What understanding have you gained about this fear? Your next prompt is supportive statement. Create a supportive statement to aid in facing this fear. Previous attempts. Reflect on any previous attempts to face this fear. Next prompt is lesson learned. Write about a lesson you've learned from facing your fears. Okay, I remembered to unmute this time. Advantages and disadvantages. What are the advantages and disadvantages of holding on to this fear? Last one, beyond fear. What does life look like on the other side of this fear? Okay, how'd everybody do? I've got some fears. if if you're new to Journal Party, we never ask you to share what you wrote. But if you do have any insights or takeaways that you'd like to share with the group, now would be a good time to drop that in the chat and let us all benefit from the collective insights of this self-reflective collective that we've built here. I can kick it off. I know sometimes it takes a minute for everybody to type in what's going on, but I will share that my big fear that I approached in this session was related to health anxiety, and specifically my fear of going to the doctor. And I know that this is from what I've heard, it's actually somewhat more common amongst men, and I didn't really explore why it might be a common thing amongst men, but I did explore where it might have come from for me. I know that I think I've always had a weird thing about hospitals, and I think it's because I had pneumonia when I was a little kid, and so I have all these weird early memories of just not having a good time around people in white coats, with the shots and the IVs and all that stuff. So that probably didn't lay the best foundation for my feelings about going to the doctor. And then I think that for the longest time, I've always been told that I look younger, and I mean, now I think I'm catching up, but I think people have always treated me as if I was younger. And I even remember when I first had my first job, and my dad was trying to tell me when you're picking your insurance, you can probably get away with the cheaper one, right? Because you're young and you're healthy. And so I kind of had that going on in the back of my head for a long time. And I think it sort of turned into something else. If you've been around Journal Party long enough, I'm not shy about sharing that I lost my father in 2015, and it was due to a health crisis that kind of spun out of control, seemingly out of nowhere. Even though there's a significant story there, but that said, I think that now I'm just terrified that I'm going to go to the doc and find some ticking time bomb, that confirms one of my other fears, which is that I may have one of the genes that did him in. So definitely some deeper stuff. And one of the things that I will say is this isn't fully resolved for me. I think that facing it has made me realize that, okay, I can be a little bit more proactive here, and there are things that I can do to get better about this. But I think the other thing that I would point out is that whenever you get into something that's a little headier or a little deeper, a little bit more challenging, look to your support networks, whether that's friends or family, or somebody who's a mental health care professional. In my case, this is something I got to bring up in therapy. And no shame in admitting that. There's a lot of stuff to this one, and it's an important subject matter, right? Your health is arguably the most important thing, and so this was a sobering one for me, I would say. So that's my share, and you know what though, even though it's scary stuff, I think that the other thing that I've learned from this whole process is just that even just the act of getting it out on paper, it becomes less of the boogeyman. That it is in my head, where there's space to kind of project some of the the more dormant and scarier fears that are associated with it. So I see some of you guys typing in here. So let's see what we got to share. We got Jackie says, support statement: you can start late, look different, be uncertain, and still succeed. Misty Copeland. That's a good one. Maybe we'll have to earmark that for our next quote prompt series that we do. That's a pretty good one. Thanks for the share, Jackie. Got Katrina Cole says, personally, that if I go to the gym, no one is paying attention to what I'm doing and what I might look like on the equipment, that they are all more concerned with their own workout, and I deserve the chance to feel better and increase my mobility. Yeah, for sure. And I've seen a lot of memes popping up about that lately, right? Where, it's just that all the time that we spend worrying about what others are thinking about us. Like, we very rarely do we consider that, they're not thinking about us, they're thinking about themselves, right? So, I think it does everybody well to take a look at, what we know deep down is good for us, and not make excuses for things to get into the way of that, get in the way of that. One of the things that I can share as it relates to that, that's been particularly helpful for me is just this lens of viewing everything through our attachments, and specifically the need to feel approval, control, and security. In this case, it's approval. And if you can find a way to become aware of that and let that go, then on the other side of that, there's courage and acceptance for what is, and peace when you realize it's all good. So let us know if we can support you in that. Awesome share, Katrina. Appreciate it. Got Mary says, asking for help does not make me inadequate and an inconvenience. It makes my coworkers stronger as we work as a team. And gets cut off here. It makes my coworkers stronger as we work as a team, and it lets my husband be involved in my life, needs, and desires. Yeah, no shame in asking for help. The human experience is not one that should be done alone, I would argue. That's part of the reason why I put together Journal Party, because some of this is some of this can get intense, right? You're going into your own headspace, but that said, all of this is to affect how we orient ourselves in the greater picture, which involves other people, many of whom love you and want to support you. So yeah, it doesn't make you inadequate. We all no one's perfect. We all have we all get by with a little help from our friends and coworkers and loved ones. So yeah, no harm in that. I think you'll be pleasantly surprised how willing people are to help as well. That's sort of tangential share. Whenever I was doing sales stuff, I always found that it was helpful, whenever I was doing like a cold call or something like that, to just to ask the person who I'm talking to if they can help me, right? And suddenly it's not you interrupting their day, or you're not being the annoying person. You're a human being who is asking for help from another human being. And I think that's totally all right. So awesome share. All right. Do we have any, we're a little light on the insights tonight, which is totally fine. We had a pretty good turnout. And, this is one of those ones that I think, you can go through again and again, right? Obviously not everybody has a single fear that they're trying to work on. I went for a really big one of my own, but I'm kind of eager to go back and explore it and see if there's just some other things where I could use a little bit of a nudge and a little bit of courage. And so yeah, we'll see. I'll have to explore that one again. But all right, well, we're at 6:45 in Pacific Standard Time, which means I know it's getting late out there for the East Coasters. So thank you so much for journaling with us tonight. And let's see, what do we have on the announcements front? As demanded or as requested by the Journal Party family, next week is actually Valentine's Day. Next Wednesday is Valentine's Day. And so we had a great suggestion inside of the group to do a guided journaling program on self-love, right? With Valentine's Day, we're often focused on our Valentines, and I think Well, look, especially if you've got time to show up and journal on Valentine's Day evening, you could probably use a little bit of self-care. So we're going to do a very special self-love program, and I hope y'all will will join me for that. Afterwards, I got to book out. I've got a really hot date with my fiance, bringing her to a very fancy vegan spot in town. She's got me on the plant-based eating protocol here, and that's part of my health stuff. I got some blood pressure issues, so I'm trying to eat plant-based and get it back on track. So we're gonna have a nice, very bougie Hollywood dinner at some vegan spot. Curious if anyone else wants to share what they're doing for Valentine's Day. Would love to hear it. Katrina says, great session. I'll continue to work on a couple of other fears I have. Awesome. Yeah. And, I think one of the cool things that I'm not sure that I really realized would be an effect of this whole thing. But I've become more and more aware of just how much doing work on yourself affects others. And, I've heard this from, feedback from my own loved ones, as well as, feedback from others in Journal Party. And I really do think that this work that we're doing, and the willingness to go within and, be vulnerable with yourself, be honest with yourself, and be willing to take a look at what's under the hood. I really think that is super valuable. I know a lot of us probably come to this sort of work with a ton of baggage. There's a ton of experts and gurus out there masquerading with, all sorts of advice, not all of which is really good. And, pop culture can affect us in that way as well. I know that for me personally, I was like obsessed with like law of attraction and secret type stuff, which I still think can be very powerful. But one of the byproducts of that whole thing is, people are trying so hard to like just force a certain way of thinking or way of being onto the reality, when you got to give yourself credit. You are a lot smarter and more intuitive than you think. And so when you make an affirmation or something like that and it's total bullshit, your mind knows that it's bullshit, and I don't think you're actually getting in touch with the feeling state of wellness, which is, I think, what we're actually approaching here. So, with a little bit of courage, we can, take a look at what's going on. And then, as long as you find a way to become present in the here and now, then there's nothing that we can't deal with. Even any of these fears, I think just by showing up and embracing them in facing them in the moment, that's better than letting it, hang out in the background of your heart and your mind, causing all sorts of effects on your day. We might as well get in there, find the root of what's making us tick, and behave the way that we do. And if you don't like it, you can change it. It's a beautiful thing. So thank you so much for joining us here. I think that's it for the comments. Well, Mary said, chasing through the fear to find hope at the end. And yeah, I think that's the best that we can all hope for. So everyone, thank you so much from the bottom of my heart for getting together and journaling with me. Drop me a line in the group if you have anything that you're going through that you want to journal through. If you want to see any special programs, be on the lookout for a new Journal Party podcast coming out on Monday. And if you are loving the app and you don't want to do a subscription, we are currently running a lifetime deal, and you can get that at lifetime.journalparty.com. And that locks you in with all the updates, because we've been updating it with new programs every week. So, get in while the getting's good, and before we jack up that price. And that's about all the promo I can stomach for one evening. So again, thank you so much. I'm going to go and hang my hat up, relax, kiss my fiance, play with my dog. And Mary says she loves the podcast. Thank you so much. Tune in to the podcast. I love you all so much. Thank you so much.